Okay, good evening. I'm going to declare a quorum for the City of Groton special mayor and council meeting for Monday, March 23rd, 2020. Kirkpatrick, please call the roll.
Present are Mayor Keith Hedrick and Clerk Deborah Patrick. Present via teleconferencing are councilors Lisa McCabe, Reginald Stanford, Guinevere Depot, Richard Carter. Excused are Deputy Mayor Jamal Beckford, Councilor Minerva Ortiz, Finance Director Ron Uhas.
One moment. Is Councilor Ortiz on the line?
Yes, I am. I can hear you.
Thank you.
Councilor Ortiz is now with us via teleconference.
Okay, all councilors are present with the exception of the deputy mayor who is excused. For those in the room, please stand and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag
United
of
States
the United States of
to
America,
the republic for which it stands,
which is
one nation,
one nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
justice
with
for
liberty
all.
and justice for all. Justice for all.
Before we get started with the meeting, I would like to address the public and, in a nutshell, say stay home, stay safe. We're in unprecedented times. I understand your anxiety over this unknown, rapidly spreading coronavirus, COVID-19. You should be concerned about your health and well-being and that of your family. The state of Connecticut has 415 confirmed cases of COVID-19 with over 50 hospitalized and 10 deaths. So far, Groton only has one confirmed case, a 53-year-old woman. New London County has 4 confirmed cases. This is severe. This is spreading. If you look at the map, you will see in Fairfield County, it is starting and moving north and east. And in a short period of time, we will have confirmed cases in the city of Groton and more cases in New London. This is not to be trifled with. This is serious. Please practice social distancing. Make sure that you're washing your hands. You cannot continue the behaviors that were okay 2 weeks ago. We have got to do everything that we can in order to stay safe. Some of the actions that the city of Groton has taken to control the spread of COVID-19 are: I issued a state of emergency letter. We shut down all parks and recreation programs. We shut down the municipal building and operations to outside personnel. We shut down the Public Works building to outside personnel. We made a list of essential and non-essential tasks. We developed guidelines for paid time off for employees who get sick or who have to take care of sick ones or their child care. We briefed employees on the status. We canceled leaf pickup and bulky waste pickup. We will continue to pick up trash and recyclables as long as the Preston station stays open and it is safe for our employees. I know there was some concerns because for a short period of time, I canceled recycles. You need to understand that I am concerned about the health and well-being of the constituents, but I'm also concerned about the health and well-being of my staff. If the people who pick up your recycles, if they get sick, they can't pick up your garbage. And if people get sick and we can't pick up your garbage, then we have a much bigger problem to deal with. This is about keeping people safe. Electric and water and sewer are all essential services. Customer service is essential service. We had our first remote meeting with the Groton Utilities Commission. This is the first mayor and council meeting that is remotely conducted remotely, but it will not be our last. We have canceled all other meetings unless essential agenda items are needed. We're working with surrounding towns to coordinate actions. We're tracking expenses for reimbursement. I have attended many meetings with DEMAS, Department of Emergency Management, Homeland Security, the governor, and Southeastern Connecticut Council of Governments, COG. I am working closely with Town Manager John Burt, Stonington First Select Woman Danielle Cheeseborough, Ledyard Mayor Fred Allen III, and New London Mayor Mike Passero to coordinate efforts in our region. So what can you do? Self-monitoring is one of the things that you can do, and that includes regularly checking your temperature and watching for signs of respiratory illness, such as fever, cough, or shortness of breath, according to the Centers for Disease Control. You can also quarantine if you think that you're sick. Quarantining means staying home and away from other people as much as possible for the 14-day period. When you are quarantined and you're quarantined at home, that doesn't mean interact with the rest of your family. That means to isolate yourself in an area of your home or in another room. You need to minimize contact with people so you do not spread the virus. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially after you've been in public places or after blowing your nose, coughing, or sneezing. If soap and water are not readily available, use a hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Cover all surfaces of your hand and rub them together until they feel dry. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Avoid close contact. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Put distance between yourself and other people if COVID-19 is spreading in your community. It is especially important for people who are at higher risk of getting very sick. Our protective actions are based on social distancing and minimizing contact with others and minimizing risk. Personal responsibility is key in social distancing. It is key in staying away from other people who you might infect or who might get infected or who might infect you. I know many of you want to help others in your neighborhood and in the community, and that is a good thing. But while you're doing this, please be careful of contact with others and don't make matters worse by infecting others or getting infected. You can have the virus, you can pass on the virus and be asymptomatic, which means you don't have a fever, you're not coughing, you're not sneezing, but you can still pass on the virus to others. So a good deed could turn out to infect dozens or hundreds of people if you're dealing directly with the public. So please be careful. For those of you that have lost your jobs, I feel for you and I understand what you're dealing with. Please file for unemployment and reach out to the social services in the town at 860-441-6760. You can also contact 211 for services that are available. The latest information from the governor's office on COVID-19 is found at ct.gov, or you can go to the City of Groton website under the COVID-19 tab, or you can go to the CDC website. If you have questions or concerns, please contact the mayor's office at 860-446-4103. Thank you. All right, recognitions, awards, and memorials. Is there, we'll go through the counselors. Counselor McCabe, do you have anything?
This is Counselor McCabe, no report.
Counselor Stanford?
Counselor Stanford, nothing to report.
Counselor Depot?
Counselor Depot, nothing to report.
Counselor Ortiz?
Counselor Ortiz, nothing to report.
Counselor Carter?
I just want to give a recognition to the emergency services personnel, fire department, everybody else who has to come to work, regardless of a mandate or not. They have families, they have kids that are home from school. Just wanted to give a recognition to them.
Okay, thank you. I echo that. I want to thank all the first responders in this city. You're on the front line. You are putting yourself at risk every single day. For the public, the police, the fire, and the EMS have changed their protocols in order to be more safe and to minimize the exposure of those personnel. I also want to thank all healthcare professionals that are on the front lines in the hospitals and in the clinics that are fighting daily to keep people alive and keep them safe. Okay, we need a motion for the approval of the minutes for March 2nd, 2020 Mayor and Council meeting.
Counselor Depot, I so move.
We have a motion.
Counselor Depot moved.
Councilor Depot moved. Who seconded?
Councilor
Counselor
Stanford.
McCabe.
Councilor McCabe seconded. Did you get that? Okay. Are there any comments, additions, deletions? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
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 Okay.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Communications and reports. I have the Tyler House bathrooms, hall, office, and hallways under this because with the actions that were taken with the COVID-19, it may take me longer than I'm comfortable with to get the bond package approved. So what I'm looking for, I'm not looking for a motion, I'm looking for a consensus that I'm going to move this out of the bond package and I'm going to pay for it out of existing funds out of this year's budget under capital improvements. Is that acceptable to the council? Council McCabe.
This is Counselor McCabe. That's acceptable to me.
Councilor Stanford.
Councilor Stanford, that is acceptable.
Councilor Depot.
This is Counselor Depot. I agree. It's acceptable.
Councilor Ortiz.
I agree.
Counselor,
Ortiz,
sorry. Councilor Carter.
I agree, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Committee referrals. Are there any committee referrals from the council? Councilor McCabe.
Counselor McCabe, no referrals.
Councilor Stanford.
Councilor Stanford, no referrals at this time.
Thank you. Councilor Depot.
this is Counselor Depot. No referrals.
Councilor Ortiz.
Counselor Ortiz, no referrals.
Councilor Carter.
No referrals.
Thank you. New business. Councilor McCabe.
Resolution R-20-3-27. Therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council accept the Community Foundation of Eastern Connecticut supplemental funds for consensus work grant in the amount of $750.00 to support efforts to increase the number of people in the city of Groton who could complete the 2020 census. I so move.
I
Counselor
second.
Depot, second.
Councilor Depot.
Counselor Depot.
Councilor Depot seconded. So we have a motion and a second. Let me give you some background on this. We have, we applied for a grant and received the grant for $750 so that we could buy supplies. We're looking at, I talked to Paul Duart, Chairman Duart rather, and he is looking to buy some signs so that we can put signs up regarding the 2020 census. So that's the background on this. Are there any comments? Councilor McCabe.
Counselor McCabe, no comment.
Councilor Stanford.
No comment.
Councilor Depot.
Counselor Depot, no comment.
Councilor Ortiz.
Counselor Ortiz, no comment.
Councilor Carter.
No comment.
Okay, hearing none?
Can I just make a reminder, please?
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Please state your name before you speak. and speak very clearly and loudly so that the microphone picks you up. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other discussion?
Counselor,
Hearing none.
Counselor Carter,
Councilor Carter, did you have a,
Counselor Carter,
go
one
ahead.
question.
Margie.
On the question, do we have to state our name even if we're being addressed, or every time we speak on the microphone?
Every time you speak on the microphone, I'll send out the executive order, but it's fairly clear because the people in the audience and the people on television don't necessarily know who the voices are. So the executive order said that every time that you speak, if you're on the phone, you need to state who you are so that it can be, one, picked up on the microphone, but two, so that it can be picked up on television.
Okay, I understand that. I was just referring to if you're asking me a question directed to me, do I still have to respond with Counselor Carter, or can I just respond to your question if you're addressing it to me?
So the question is, if I'm addressing Counselor Carter, since Counselor Carter is going to be the one responding to my question, does he then have to state that it's Counselor Carter?
No.
Or, okay, in the case where I direct a specific question to a counselor, you do not need to identify who you are because I have basically identified you in my question.
Yes, and that's all I'm asking, because you just asked me if I had any questions about what the resolution was directed towards me, and I said no.
Okay,
And then I was just told that I have to say my name, so I'm just making it clear.
okay. All right. Hearing no other comments, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. Motion carries. Counselor Stanford.
Councilor Stanford. Resolution -20-3-28. Therefore be resolved that the mayor and council approve the appointment of Jacqueline Hoyt, 210 Baker Avenue Extension, Groton, Connecticut, as a regular member, Beach and Parks Committee, term to expire December 31st, 2020. I so move.
Counselor Depot, second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are there any comments? Should I continue to do the way I'm doing?
No.
Okay, so instead of going around and addressing each counselor, I will ask, are there any comments? And then you can state your name and then address any comments you may have. So with that, are there any comments? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Mr.
Abstentions? Okay, motion carries. Counselor Depot.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-20-3-29, therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the reappointment of Alfred Restivo, 763 Shenecosset Road, Groton, as a regular member, Beach and Parks Committee, term to expire on December 31st, 2022. I so move.
Counselor Carter, second.
Counselor Carter, second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Abstentions? Motion carries. Counselor Ortiz.
Therefore be it resolved, R-20-3-31. Therefore be it
Wait,
resolved.
Counselor Ortiz, 3-0?
R-20-3, okay, yes sir, 3-0. Therefore be it resolved that the council approve the appointment of Anthony Cirillo, 48 Chestnut Hill Square, Groton, Connecticut, as a member of the Harbor Management Commission, term to expire on April 5th, 2025. I so move.
Counselor Depot, second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Counselor Carter.
R-20-3-31, therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the reappointment of George Scully, 37 Pennsylvania Avenue, Groton, Connecticut, as a regular member of Groton Utilities Commission, term to expire May 31st, 2024. I so move.
Counselor Depot, second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Counselor McCabe.
Resolution R-20-3-32. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the reappointment of Lori Nealon Hellam, 140 Baker Avenue, Groton, Connecticut, as a regular member of the Board of Ethics, term to expire on February 1st, 2024. I so move.
Counselor Depot,
Counselor
second.
Stanford, second.
Who's second?
Counselor Depot and Counselor Stanford both seconded.
I heard Depot first.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Abstentions? Motion carries. Counselor Stanford.
Resolution 20-3-33. Therefore be resolved that the council approve the reappointment of Mark Mogul, 2 Hillside Avenue, Groton, Connecticut, as a member of the Harbor Management Commission, term to expire April 5th, 2025. I so move.
Counselor Depot, second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Counselor Stanford has a discussion.
Whoop, Counselor Stanford?
Yes. It says the council without saying the mayor and council. Is that a typo or do we need
Thank
to?
you, Counselor Stanford. That is a typo. We will correct it.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Counselor Depot.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-20-3-34. Therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the reappointment of Scott Nadeau, 129 Blueberry Hill Road, Groton, as a regular member, Beach and Parks Committee, term to expire on December 31st, 2022. I so move.
I second. Counselor Stanford second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Counselor Ortiz.
Resolution R-20-3-35. Therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council resign or rescind resolution R-19-12-169. I so move.
Counselor Depot, second.
We have a motion and a second. This is, okay, or is there any discussion? This is for change order 13. Change order 13 was approved by the council. It was rejected by the Department of Public Health. We will have a new change order 13 later in tonight's agenda. So that's the background on this correction, on this resolution. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Counselor Carter.
Resolution, we're at 36, correct?
Yes.
Sorry, Mayor.
Yes.
R-20-3-36. Therefore, be resolved that the mayor and council authorize Groton Utilities Management to exercise a 1-year contract renewal option to lawn and ground maintenance for the 2021 season at ACK Services 515 Calhoun Road, Mystic, Connecticut, for a contract amount of $67,200 and no cents from Groton Utilities Properties, $60,480 and no cents to be paid to be paid by Water Division, and $6,720 to be paid by Electric Division. I so move.
Council Depot second.
We have a motion and a second. This is a standard contract for mowing services. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Counselor McCabe.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-20-3-37. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize Groton Utilities Management to approve change order number 13A from R.H. White Construction Company Incorporated, 41 Central Street, Auburn, Massachusetts, for changes in scope as part of the State of Connecticut Drinking Water State Revolving Fund, project number 2013-0140, an amount not to exceed $89,397.46, and Mayor Keith Hendrick to be authorized to execute the change order number 13A. I so move.
Council Depot second.
We have a motion and a second. We have the Groton Utilities Director, Ron Gaudet, here. He will start the discussion.
This change order is the first of two you're going to see tonight. This change order does not have anything to do with PCBs. It has to do with a myriad of small items, 10 to be exact, varying from $3,000 to $30,000 of small changes related to the piping as they constructed the plant. That's basically what it is.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Councilors, where am I? Councilor Stanford.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution R-20-3-38. Therefore, be resolved that the mayor and council authorize Groton Utilities Management to provisionally approve change order number 16 from R.H. White Construction Company Incorporated, 41 Central Street, Auburn, Massachusetts, for approximately 90% of the remaining PCB abatement and encapsulation as part of the State of Connecticut Drinking Water State Revolving Fund, project number 2013-0140, pending final approval by the State of Connecticut Department of Public Health in the amount not to exceed $1,820,265, and Mayor Keith Hendrick be authorized to execute change order number 16 upon final approval by the State of Connecticut Department of Public Health. I so move.
Council Depot second.
We have a motion and a second. Utilities Director, please tell us what's going on with this.
This change order is numbered number 16. This one does relate to PCBs. This change order is coming in and replacing change order 13 that you rescinded a couple of resolutions earlier. What happened was the scope changed once the EPA made a site visit. So we had the contractor, R.H. White, re-solicit bids from the abatement contractors with additional scope. The added scope to this change order is that they are removing PCBs anywhere around equipment that is being touched by the project. So anywhere where it makes sense or where it is saving significant money to do it now while a contractor is in place because of the location, maybe there's a pipe and the wall behind it contains PCBs. So before that pipe goes in, and it would be difficult to get the PCBs off the wall, they're going to remove all those PCBs now. So it states in the resolution that it's approximately 90% of all the PCBs remaining in the filtration plant. And again, that cost changed from about $1.3 million to $1.8 million with this change order. Do realize that this is going forward before the exact final numbers have been negotiated. This is a worst case cost. We are hoping that the final cost of this change order is a couple of $100,000 less. But it will not be approved until the DPH approves that final change order amount.
Any questions from the council?
Councilor Ortiz.
Okay, Councilor Ortiz, go ahead.
So, do I understand correctly? This is something that popped up that we weren't aware that it was there, because it comes after it separates the money for this. It's not what we had expected. So
that is true. The PCBs in full context of how much PCBs is in the plant was not included in the original scope of the project. That is true.
thank you.
In addition to that, Councilor Ortiz, this is, once they went back and reevaluated the scope of the work changed, and that's another reason for the increase.
Understood, sir.
Okay? Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstention. Motion carries. Councilor Depot.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-20-3-39. Therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize a contract with International Code Council MTA 900 Montclair Road, Birmingham, Alabama, and or JHW Plan Review Services LLC, 125 4th Plaza, Pleasant Grove, Alabama, for third-party plan review of documents pertaining to the General Dynamics Electric Boat South Yard Assembly Building in the amount of $70,000 and no cents, to be paid from fiscal year 20 Building and Zoning Department General Support Contractual Services. I so move.
Councilor Stanford, second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. The background on this is there is a significant plan review that is needed in order to move the project forward at Electric Boat because of the size of scope and the quick turnaround that is required by them. We have contracted it out because with everything else we have going on, we can't wedge this in. We do have money in the account. If you remember, the permit fees that Electric Boat is paying as a result of this contract is covering a large portion of any subcontracting that we need to do. Actually, not a large portion. The fees are covering all of the contract work that we would need to do to support this construction. Are there any questions or is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. With that, I will need a motion for adjournment.
This is Counselor McCabe. I make a motion to adjourn.
This is Councilor Stanford. I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. We are adjourned. Thank you, council, for your first teleconference. I'll be interested in feedback from you on how we can make this meeting better, and we'll be evaluating it as well. So thank you all for participating. To people that are here,
Stay
thank you
healthy,
very much.
everybody.
Okay, we are
Stay
adjourned.
home.